Hello, I'm Harrison and welcome to my GCSE tips video. So as some of you will probably know, I'm currently in year 12 at the moment, and so last year I had the misfortune to have to sit my GCSEs last summer in 2018, and I actually ended up getting 8 A stars and 4 grade 9s. And last year I made loads of study videos about GCSEs, like study with me's and tips and things, but this year I thought I'd look back at my GCSEs and just look at what happened and basically just give you guys some tips in case you're doing your GCSEs this year. So I'm going to try and give you a few different tips on everything to your GCSEs, so obviously revision, study leave, the actual exams themselves, tips for that, what happens, so all the tips. So the first tip is basically it's never too late to start revising. So I get loads of questions all the time on my channel and real life, people saying, oh my god Harrison, I've not started revising yet, is it too late? Am I doomed? Can I still get the grades I want? And the answer is yes. I had friends last year who, did revision for months, who got A stars. I had friends who started quite late, who also got A stars. It can work either way. It's never too late to start, to be honest. You can get the grades you want, no matter how late you start, but obviously when you do start, you're going to have to work really, really hard. So what I would say, if you're watching this video and you haven't started revising yet, start revising. If you need some motivation, if you're looking for something to force you to revise, this is it. Go revise right now. What are you doing? Go revise. Go revise. What I'm trying to say is it's still possible to do well in your GCSEs if you start late, but it's harder. Don't stress about it, but it's harder if you start later. So start now, it's never too late to start. Go do some really good revision and you'll be fine. Okay, so on that note, you may be going, but how do I do good revision? What does that mean? How can I get those grades? So the first real tip I'd have is make your revision timetable. Oh my gosh, this is literally so helpful. If you don't already have a timetable, make one, because it's really easy to just be oh, I'll just do the revision, I'll be fine, I'll do it when I feel like it, I'll make sure I do enough, I'll force myself. Humans are lazy creatures. If we don't have to do something, we won't do it. That's the bottom line. So making yourself a timetable is so useful because it forces you, hopefully, it kind of puts you in a better frame of mind to actually do the revision. So whether that's, you're doing a weekly revision and you want to make a weekly timetable, or you're doing a study day, you want to make a timetable for that day, or even if you're just doing a 2-hour block of revision after school or something, making a timetable will just help you so much. It'll help you manage your time, it'll help you focus, it'll help you get the revision done. It's just so important. I can't stress it enough. Even if you just write it down on a piece of paper or on the notes app on your phone, or if you want a more structured timetable, I actually made some templates last year, so I'll leave those down in the description. There's a train, benefits of living right next to a train track. But yeah, I actually made some revision timetable templates last year, so I'll leave the video in the description below if you want to look at that and just how to make a timetable. But basically, timetables are amazing. I cannot stress them enough. If you don't already have one, make one. If you have one, make sure it's working for you. If you find that you just stay off it because you just can't bother with it, maybe it's time to look at changing it, change up how long you work each day, how long your revision blocks are, how many breaks you give yourself. Make it work for you, because if you do and you make an effective timetable, it will literally change everything. I promise, I'm not being hyperbolic. In terms of revision tips for each subject, the thing that's really good with sciences is to obviously do loads of past papers and look at loads of mark schemes. Obviously you have to do some revision before that. You can't just go do past papers and mark schemes, but once you're at a point where you feel kind of comfortable with the content, that really helps. In the mark schemes there'll be big words in bold and underlined that the examiners want you to use and will give you ticks for and give you marks for. I don't know, for chemistry it was a hydrocarbon is a compound with hydrogen and carbon atoms only, and it had only in bold and underlined. These are the things that pop up in every single mark scheme that give you marks. So if you kind of learn what questions are going to be asked and what kind of things the examiners are looking for, especially in sciences, it's so helpful. Obviously with the new 9 to 1 GCSEs, you may be a bit of a disadvantage because I can't imagine there's too many past papers yet for those sciences, but you can still look at old past papers from the old spec and find out what's going on. and then you can just fill in the holes in your knowledge in terms of things that are on the new spec. There'll be specimen papers for the new spec. If they started the 9-to-1 for sciences in your exam board last year, then they'll have past papers from last year. So past papers and mark schemes are really useful, and like everybody will tell you that, like past papers, mark schemes, amazing, the one. For the mathsy part of science, and for like obviously maths GCSE itself, the key is just like practice. You can't really cram maths, you kind of just have to like practice until you get the gist of the questions, but the more you practice the easier it will get. Like practice does make perfect, that's not like a lie. So like in chemistry that'd be like moles, in physics that'd be like, I don't know, equations like kinetic energy. It's just making sure you know how to do the questions, and the best way to do that is through practice. For humanities like history and English literature, the best thing to do is to do essay plans, essay practice, essay prep. Just make sure your essay writing skills are good, and make sure you know how to write an essay in time conditions. I think essay plans are really useful because they not only like help your essay writing skills and how to like create an argument, but also they just increase the chances of you getting a question on the paper that you've already practiced. Like last year in my English literature exam, on my Macbeth paper, I had a choice of a bankroll question and another question I can't remember. But the bankroll question in my revision, I had actually done an essay plan for, and I'd written a practice essay for. So when I got in there, I was like, oh my gosh, I've done this essay before, I know how to write it. I went in there, I wrote my bankroll essay, I got full marks on the essay, it was amazing. That also happened to me another time in English literature with the poetry paper, and also happened to me in history, I think. So if you do practice essays and essay plans, then there's only a certain amount of questions they can really ask for humanities, to be honest, at GCSE, so there's more chance that you'll get something that you've already written about, and so that just helps you so much. And even if you don't, essay plans are really useful for just like making you better at essays. In terms of things like dates and facts and definitions for like geography and stuff, I know geography, but I assume you need to know facts for case studies and definitions and stuff. Quizlet is your best friend. I swear by Quizlet. Anybody that knows me will know that I swear by Quizlet. If you watched my videos from last year, my study with me's, I was just on Quizlet all day, every day, basically. Quizlet is your best friend for memorising facts and things like that, and also vocab and languages. If you haven't used Quizlet ever, just try it out. I promise it's amazing. Just believe me, it's just the best. One tip that's more relevant towards the exam actual time is know what's on each paper. Obviously for science and things you have paper 1 and paper 2, and they'll have different things on each paper. I remember last year people would come up to me on the day of the exam and be like, oh Harrison, is this practical on the chemistry paper today? And I'd be like, no, that's 2 weeks away, don't worry about that practical. Just know what's on each paper, print out, you know, the specification, print out all those documents, make sure you know what's going on each day, because I mean you don't want to be revising unnecessary stuff. You don't want to be up the night before paper 1 revising all the stuff for paper 2. Like it's just help yourself out. And obviously if you print out the specification and stuff, it can double as a checklist, so you can tick off all the things you revised. It makes sure that you like actually revise everything, and you make sure you're actually prepared. So yeah, make sure you know what's on each paper, because a lot of people don't. Just make sure you do. On the day of the exam, like just try to chill a bit. Obviously you're going to be like really nervous and really stressed, but the thing you have to remember is GCSEs, that like I'm not gonna lie, it's a long period of time. Like my exam started on the 9th of May I think, and finished on the 21st of June. That's like a month and a half of exams. It was not fun. If you overstress for the first exams and you just give them all your energy, you'll just be tired out and you won't be able to give that same energy to the later exams. So make sure that just breathe, don't stress out too much, like just do your best, go in there, don't stress out too much, because otherwise you will just burn out by the end of it. Obviously just make sure during the exam period, take care of yourself, give yourself breaks, give yourself free time, make sure everything's okay, because you do not want to burn out and lose your energy, and otherwise your later exams will just fizzle out, and that's not good. Your first exams, you will stress out for them a lot, like they'll be intense, and then you'll kind of realise, oh, these are all just the same. I'm just sitting in an exam hall writing on a piece of paper. Like it's a really weird feeling when you actually do GCSEs. You're like, oh. One tip though is stay prepared during the exam period. you don't want to be that person running around on the morning of a maths exam like without a calculator, looking for a calculator. Just make sure that well before your exams start, you buy a clear pencil case, you get your calculator, you get loads of pencils, loads of pens, you get highlighters if you want them, you get all the stuff you need for maths like a compass. Get it all ready, stay prepared, because you want to remove any sources of stress during your GCSEs. You want to just get rid of them. So getting prepared and staying prepared really helps you, like, just removes any kind of unnecessary stress. So stay prepared. And importantly, after GCSEs are over in summer, forget about them. It's done. Like, for the first few weeks of summer, like for a week, I was stressing. I was like, I just want it to be results day today. Oh my gosh, what's happening? I'm so stressed out. But just honestly, the best thing to do is just go, I've done them, see what happens in August, and enjoy your summer, because summer of GCSEs should be amazing. I had an amazing summer. Make sure you have things planned. Make sure just fill the time up with amazing things, because it's such a long summer. Just have an amazing time, and once your GCSEs are done, even once you've finished a subject, if you finish biology, go buy biology, forget about it, don't stress about it. It's easier said than done, but honestly, once GCSEs are over, they're over. Enjoy it. Just wait, results day will come around before you know it. Just let it all happen. It's over, it's good. So make sure when GCSEs are finished, they're finished. And on that note, that's all the tips I have for today. If you have any questions or queries or anything, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to answer them and help out. And yeah, so good luck if you have GCSEs this year. If you have A-levels or any other exams or anything, good luck with them. I don't actually have any external exams this year because ASs aren't really a thing anymore. So I just have exams at school, so it's not too stressful. So I'd love to answer any questions you have or anything, so just let me know. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.